Yeah, everyone, this is Thermite, and this is the weekly updates. Very first link down below is Weekly Shonen Jump. Please check it out. If you're not caught up with Akane-banashi, do it. It's so good. If you're not caught up with Roboco, you don't need to catch up, necessarily. You should, because it's great. But read this week's Roboco. It's also really, really, really good. Ah, man, this jump was on fire. I mean, One Piece. Enough said. I really thought this was going to be a flashback that also caught up way more with the modern day. Kind of like Odin's adventure. Right now, I think we're probably gonna cut it off very short, like next chapter or two, and I don't think we're gonna skip that much further forward in time. We'll see. I could be very wrong. There's a lot of stuff left to do. But I do think we might cover it, through other people's flashbacks or through, exposition in other places. I don't think we're going to, get to the modern day. I don't know if we're going to, finish up the King Harold story or whatnot. We'll see. Um, let's see. Oh, Ping-Pong Peril continues to be great as always. Oter is still fantastic. These new series I've picked up, I'm really, really hoping they stand the test of time because both of them legitimately to me feel like all timers. Oter feels like a real, this could be the next One Piece, given enough time, giving enough room to breathe. I suppose the next My Hero probably more so in terms of, where it would actually be in Jump. But in terms of being a big rollicking fantasy, I mean, I guess you can't say that though, because Ichi is definitely going to be the next big fantasy adventure. It is the next One Piece. So I guess Oter's number 3, but the fact that Ichi and Oter are running at the same time, and I'm still like, yeah, Oter's fantastic. It's the crazy, because I can be burnt out with stuff. I'm burnt out on yokai series for a bit, but I still if a series is still really interesting, I'm still giving it its fair due. Similarly, do I want to read tons and tons and tons of long rollicking adventures? Not necessarily. Those need good memory. My memory's garbage. And yet, these all feel so fucking good. Also, I mean, speaking of big rollicking fantasy adventures, we got 3 more chapters of Black Clover. Ah, God. I don't know. I feel like every single time I end it with, maybe we have 3 chapters left. Maybe we're about to hit the finale. I I think I said that even in the reaction at the end of this one, that, oh, we might have just 3 more chapters. Realistically, I think we probably got 6 more. There's no way we're ending it on just 3 more, given the pace we already have. We literally could, but will we? I don't think so. I think the next 3 chapters will end with, a big climactic, the villain almost wins, but then Asta, pulls it up, and then the next 3 will be our, finale and epilogue. I mean, considering that, Yuki Tabata is basically able to put out, 60 pages every time he does this, it also gives me hope that we'll have, a decent-ish, epilogue. I don't need every, dot to be dotted and every, X to be crossed, but, I'd like to, at least know that the world's in a better place. I'd like to, get some final snapshots of everyone. It's a series where, it's not like the end of One Piece, where, at the end of One Piece, the question's really going to be, are the Straw Hats staying together? Are they going to split off and, achieve their dreams separately? Are we going to do a time skip where, they stayed together for, 10 more years? We had, their version of, the great, Roger Rocks of, Garp, era? Are we going to do that with Luffy and Kobe? And then, do we leave it there as that's where the series ends, right? Right in their prime, or do we end it later on where we see oh, they all achieved their dreams? Black Clover. I don't think we need to do a skip forward. I don't think we need to do a skip at all, really. Truly, it is the most we're just going series on the planet. So I feel the epilogue will be literally what is literally happening the day after this arc. Seeing everyone settle down, seeing that the world is at peace. I'm so curious to see if Asta will will talk to Sister Lily again, or is he going to honor what she said at the very start of this arc? Is he going to be all right, that's it, and then will Noelle have the balls to be okay, listen, she might not be into you, but I am. But yeah, truly, there's so little I need. And there's so much in this arc already where it's like, I didn't need this, but I'm happy to have it. I didn't need this, but I'm happy to have it. Okay. Last thing, if you didn't see the upload because YouTube is poopy garbage sometimes, I reacted to Superman 2025. But please go to the video on my account. I'm not gonna link it because I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to see how many like views the redirect gets. But please go there. Don't watch the entire redirect because that I recorded that afterwards. Go watch the the reaction first. If you're watching the jump reactions, you know how it works. You know the system. Very first link. There's a backup link as well in case the very first link dies, which it will in like a year or so if I set it up right. But please use that very first link because number one, I can track how many people have like used it, and so it's nice to see number go up. But also, I am just curious, like it does seem like it's working well enough. But I know Pixel Drain, like has some upsides and downsides. I know, like like speed can be an issue sometimes. But right now, for what I'm using it for, it seems really damn good. And I'm probably not going to use it the way Donut uses Mega. In fact, I might just ask him to host my Superman reaction on his Mega. But I know Mega also doesn't work for a lot of people. So, trying alternatives, seeing how it goes. Okay. But yeah, I had such a fun time watching that movie. It feels so good to be on the forefront of something for once in my damn life. Oh, housekeeping news. I've got one more week in Canada, and then I go down to Donuts basically for September. Like, just think of it as, like, from the start of September to the end, I'll be there. Which means I've got, like, 4 jumps I'll be recording there. It means I'll be recording other stuff as well. Probably some Patreon content. But also probably some other stuff as well. We'll see. It all depends. The Donut is, ultimately the one who decides whether we do something, whether I'm doing something. I can say for sure I'm doing jump. And I might, like, genuinely, just a lot of the time we have the house to ourselves in the morning, and he doesn't wake up until like 10, 11 or so, which gives me a really nice period in which I can also occasionally do other things. You know, providing if I can pull myself out of the bed when he's in the bed. It's tough. It's tough out here. But we'll see. Definitely want to stay on the ball with the jumps. I mean, like I, properly, like, I didn't catch up with the jumps last time I was there. I basically ended up like averaging out one a week. So in terms of like catching up with other things, can't quite promise it, but I would love if I got the time there. I would love to, like catch up on some of my obligations because it's, it's a bit rough to do it, like in my normal life. Okay, that's enough dilly-dallying. That's enough blathering about. Let's go into not this. I shall free you from the burden of watching this 10-minute redirect. That's only 8 minutes. Anyways, catch you on the flip side. Bye for now. Yeah.